How do you know if your agency is actually scamming you? In this video, I'm going to show you a step-by-step guide on how to know and the main things that agencies normally do to try and screw you. If you're working with an agency now and you're spending less than $1,000 a month, yeah, most likely been scammed. And what I want to talk about today is why that is. And we're going to go through the exact steps that I go through with my clients when they come to me and how I can show them that they're being scammed. I don't do that to get them as a client because, to be honest with you, I don't work with people under $1,000 a month. I do it to actually just educate them. So I'm going to go through exactly what I do when I have those audits with someone or when I'm talking to someone, or I'm just giving someone a helpful hand and some insights. I think the best way and the best analogy I ever used when it comes to SEO agencies or these cheap, nasty SEO agencies, especially hosting companies that are really good at this, is it's like a gym membership. If they make it so cheap that you don't remember you're paying them, then they kind of get forgotten about. And then if you do kind of hold them accountable, then they usually be like, oh, but you signed this contract for 12 months, 6 months or something like that, to then screw you even more. So let's go a little bit deeper into some of the main things that people usually, are red flags that I normally use to then help my clients see what's going on. I think the first one is what I was talking about earlier. If it's under $1,000 a month, they're not really achieving anything. And I've gone through this in another video. You can watch it up here in the corner. But pretty much how it works is that the economics just don't make sense, right? Like the average, skilled white collar SEO person out there costs minimum $50 to $100 an hour. That's not even talking about like actually delivering an outcome, like technical audits, if you're using a web developer, all that kind of stuff. Even if you're outsourcing everything, it still does not add up. The second red flag is that they can't tell you what they're doing. This happens so much. Or the best one I've seen is that they're like, oh no, we can't show you that. That's our intellectual property. Sorry, no, it's bullshit. You actually paid them, you then own that property. That's how it works, right? So if they're not going to show you the work you're doing, that's another red flag. Number 3, they have guarantees of ranking. This one is kind of died out a little bit here in Australia, but still something I see come up quite a bit with the really cheap end of the market. They don't own Google. I know, funny, right? But they don't actually own Google. So if you don't own Google, how can you guarantee an outcome? And with the amount of core updates that come out from Google every year, there's no way in hell you can actually promise an outcome for someone and actually be able to hold to that. If they do that, the way that they actually do this, little side tip, is that they'll do extremely long keywords. And the reason they do extremely long keywords, and I'll give you an example in a minute, is because no one else targets that keyword because there's no traffic. So I always remember an agency I worked for many, many years ago, which I can't say anything about because I'll probably get sued, but pretty much the keywords we used to do was like best credit card in Victoria, Australia. Who is really going to actually type that into Google? For one? Nobody. And 2, you're literally the only person on the internet that's targeting that keyword. That's why you show up. And that's how they say, we got your guarantees of rankings. 4, this one comes up a lot. They own everything. And what I mean by they own everything, they might own your website, your domain, your Google Analytics account, even your Google Ads account, right? It's a major red flag if you're paying your agency to then pay Google, because that means that technically your agency owns that Google Ads account, not you. And that is in itself a major red flag, because if you have a falling out, which I can guarantee you're going to have a falling out when they don't deliver, they're going to be like, well, we own all these assets. So if you want these assets, you need to pay us out, or we're just going to take you to the cleaners for your full contract amount. And at the end of that, they still probably won't give you assets as well. Number 5, I know very well, and that's link building. I'm not going to go into too much depth because there's going to be another video I do about spammy link building, which you can probably see up in this corner here. Pretty much how it works is that there's like 3 levels of links that you can build nowadays. Your first tier 1 links is like digital PR, and the digital PR stuff, that's when you're reaching out to legitimate publications, you're pitching you as an expert, as in you the client, and you get a link. That's real digital PR, which is really just what PR has been for the last, 70 years, but us SEOs like calling it new things. They're like the cream of the crop. They're really good stuff. And number 2 is a little bit different. It's probably like a mid-tier link. This is what I used to build quite a lot of. It's where you pay the publisher to actually get a link. I believe these links are still good. They're still useful because you can actually still get an outcome from Google rankings. And if you don't buy really cheap, nasty ones, they definitely work. To put into context, a good link for this costs anywhere between $500 and like $1,500. and that goes all to the publisher. If you use a middle broker and then the agency on top, that link would be like $6,000 probably, because everyone always wants to make 100% markup in that industry, right? And then the lower end of the links is like something that the publisher is probably getting $20 or $30, maybe $50 per link, and then they're charging you like $200 or $300. This is like the bulk of link building for most agencies and most people in the market. They are actually really just PBNs, private blog networks, right? They are trash, they do not help you, and if someone sends you a link and you put it into any tool like SEMrush or Ahrefs and it has zero traffic, it gives you zero value because Google doesn't even trust it. So why would a link from that site help your website? And number 7 is the best one for me, and that is they never talk about conversions, they never talk about sales. If they're not talking about real outcomes for you as a business, then really, why are you working with them? Because they don't give a shit about you, right? Because all they're doing is just wanting to get your money each month. And their goal, their whole business model is worked on holding you for as long as possible to make sure they get as much ROI. They do not care about the long-term relationship with you. They do not care about your business. They do not care about what your website's going to do long-term, if it's going to then be de-indexed or something like that. They just don't care. And I know that's horrible to say, but it's the honest truth. And if you listen to me, if you watch any of my videos, you'll see I'm always going to tell you how it is. And that is, sadly, what it is for most of this industry. Most of what I just explained, the last 7 points, is probably stuff that people are going to be like, holy shit, where do I go now, Aaron? Well, there's a few options. The first one is go hire an actual consultant. No, don't hire me. I don't work with individuals or small businesses. But what you can do is you can go to Upwork, you can go to all these other places, find a consultant that costs maybe $100 an hour, get them to actually do a strategy, give you some actual real pointers on what you can do. Don't get them to execute on it. Just get some pointers from them. It might cost you $1,000, but they're going to give you more information and more insight than an agency will. If you're a bigger company and you're looking for consulting work, go out to the internet, you can talk to people, you can reach out to my agency or someone else. I really don't mind. But have a real chat with someone. And then the last option you've got is bring it in-house. I always say, be careful with taking too much in-house. I think that people don't realize that one individual cannot do 10 jobs. The sad reality is that the person who does Google Ads, who does SEO, who does data analysis, who does web dev, who does design work, that's 5 people. That's not one person. And a lot of in-house people have to do 5 people's jobs, get paid for the same as one person, and then they actually fail on all 5 of those tasks. What I say to you is only do that if you can actually afford to take more stuff in-house, or hire a marketing manager to hold your suppliers accountable, which is another good option. It's a good midway between hiring 5 people and hiring one person. Just don't expect that one person to do everything. I hope this video was really helpful. If you want to learn more about dodgy links, go to the link here and watch this video. The other thing you can also do that's really helpful for me is hit the like button and the subscribe button, because it helps this channel and it helps some business owners actually learn about marketing. Thank you.